Hey, if you're someone out there who's really hungry to improve and you want to take your game as far as it can go, I'm going to show you in this video how you can go from becoming a 3-0 player up to a 5-0 player. I think it's about a 5 to 8 year plan for you. So if that sounds exciting to you and you don't want to get stuck, let's get started. All right, so let's get in this video. First of all, if you don't know what a 3-0 or 5-0 is, but you still want to improve your tennis game, you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it's adult level tennis, and a 3.0 level player is kind of like a beginner intermediate, and then as you can go up to a 3.5, now you're becoming a solid intermediate player. You up to a 4.0 level, you'd be like intermediate, advanced, and then 4.5 is, you know, advanced, and then 5.0 is probably like your teaching pro at your club or the best players at your club. Maybe they play junior tennis. A lot of them play junior tennis, but I can tell you, I've met so many players who really started to develop their game after 30, 40, even 50, who became a 5.0 player because they followed the right steps. So let me explain what's holding you back from becoming this player and how you're going to get there. All right, I think the first thing that's holding you back, this video is for adults, okay? This video is for adults. Now here's the question: who do you think learns a lot faster, kids or adults? What do you think? Now most adults, in fact I asked this to one of my students who was an adult the other week, he's like, oh well, yeah, kids learn so much faster than adults. And I think that that is not true. I'm sorry. I've worked with a ton of kids, a ton of adults. You have kids who pick things up super fast, kids who pick up things really slow, adults who pick up things really fast, adults who are slower to pick things up. But as the great Rick Macy says, persistence is undefeated. And I think that adults, believe it or not, have a lot less patience for developing their game than juniors. Like, how many times do you hear about an adult development program in tennis? You don't really hear about it very much, but you all the time hear junior development. This is our junior development, junior academy, right? It's always adult clinics, 3.5 clinics, 4.0 clinics. So you label yourself a lot more than a kid. All right, and I think that that is the biggest pitfall of trying to get up to an advanced player. Don't get obsessed with the ratings. Even though this video is about how to become a 3.0 to a 5.0, what you want to do is think about development if you truly want to go up to that level, okay? Again, another great Rick Macy line is, he says it's junior development, not final destination. And for you, if you want to go as far as you can go, don't think of it as a final destination, like I'm a 3.0 and that's it, I'm a 3.5 and I'm stuck. Because you're probably doing the same things you've been doing for years to win matches at that level, okay? So you're gonna have to accept some lumps. Don't get all obsessed with if you're winning or losing, it's how much you're developing. And so what I want you to do, if you want to figure out where you want to be on the scale of a player at your club and how far you want to go, I actually want you to compare and start to watch juniors. I want you to start watching junior tennis. If you're at a club and you see tournaments going on, I want you to take a look at who's winning at 12 and under tennis, okay? Who is winning 12 and under tennis? 12 and under tennis players who win a lot of matches are very consistent. They can be labeled pushers, and maybe they don't have all the strokes developed. But since they can keep so many balls in, a lot of moon balls that go over other kids' heads. I remember this one kid who used to beat me all the time. He was able to hit big topspin, and it would jump over my head, and then it would go over the curtain. But I was able to beat him and become #1 in the state by the end of the year by learning how to take the ball on the rise, which is a more advanced thing. And once I learned how to take his ball on the rise, right, then all of a sudden he couldn't compete with the way I was playing, all right? So, if you're looking at 12 and under tennis, you're gonna see decent strokes. You're going to see serves. You can still win in 12 and under tennis with maybe a serve that's not all the way developed, maybe even a frying pan grip. But once that kid becomes in the 14s, they can win a little bit, and then the 16s, they're kind of phased out. I remember it was amazing when I started to play 16 under tennis, how many of the kids that used to be at the top were now like 50, 100 in the state. I was able to stay always high ranked because I kept developing my game, okay? And that's what you need to do if you want to become a 5-0 player, is the 12 and under players, I want you to think of them as 3.0 and under. When you start to look at the players who are winning in the 16s and the 18s, that's like your 5-0 players. Take a look at how their game is developed. They're going to have the correct grips on the serve. They're going to be able to hit kick. They're going to be able to hit slice. They're going to have the modern looking strokes. They're going to be able to hit topspin. They're going to be able to come to the net and put volleys away with a continental grip. These are all the things you're going to need to do. So if you want to like go, how do I become a 5-0? Go watch a 16 under tournament and then start to look at the grips they use. They're on their serve, they're definitely going to have a continental grip. Right? On the ground strokes, they're going to have a blend of power and consistency. And when they get short balls, they're going to be able to put balls away or set themselves up nice for easy winning volleys. 12 and under kids can't do that. In fact, lots of times in 12 and under tennis, which you might be experiencing this right now, and that's why you have to be worried more about your development than if you're winning or losing. In 12 and under tennis, think about it, coming to the net is not rewarded. Kids who would play these great points, who I used to coach, and even I can remember myself and some of my other favorite players I used to watch who I liked as a 12 and under player, some of my buddies, they had great games, but then when they came to the net, what happened? They always got lobbed, they always got passed. So if you're developing your game right now and you're a 3-0 and you're trying to learn all these advanced things to do, but you always get passed or you lose when you turn to offense, that's okay. Don't let that stunt your growth. That's what a lot of adults end up doing. They try and learn these new and advanced things. It doesn't work because they're at a 3-0 level. They're not developed yet. It's not baked into their game. So they always lose every time they try and take the net, every time they try and hit an overhead. What you've got to do is realize, okay, I'm developing my game because I want to become a 5-0 player. I don't want to become the 3-0 champion year after year after year. If you do, that's completely fine. All right? That is 100% fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to go up and become the best player you can be, that's what you have to do. And so the main point that I want to make is you've got to be patient if you want to become a 5-0 player. Because one of the funniest things is when I'm teaching a 3-5 player who got up to the 3-5 level probably within 2 to 3 years, but they've been doing it with this frying pan grip. I'll have them serve up here, we'll change the grip, they'll hit a couple spin serves, they'll be amazed that they can actually spin on it, and they're like, okay, I want to practice and go back to the baseline. And then they try and like do it in their match. And maybe they try for a couple months to transition to a continental grip and hit spin, and they try it for a couple months, and then they think, oh, I guess this isn't for me. I guess I'm not good enough. If I would pick this game up when I was a kid, I would be able to do it by now. But here's the thing. You see that kid that you watch who's like 14, 15 years old, you're like, oh man, I wish I would have started when I was his age or her age. I'm telling you, because I've been through it many, many times. Kids starting to learn to serve the right way at 9, 10, 11, 12 for like 3 years, 3 or 4 years often, unless they're one of those kids who pick it up super fast, their serve stinks. Right? They can't hit the ball in the box. They're spinning the ball all over the place. Even myself, I served, my slice serve then to be my best serve as a junior. I would serve my slice serve and go into the curtain every single time, okay, for a good month. But as parents and adults, we look at those kids learning to play the right way. We see them spinning. We're like, we're seeing them spinning their serves, and they're all out. We're like, well, that's normal. They're just learning. They're just learning how to play. They're developing, right? So as adults, we have more patience to watch that unfold month after month. We understand that it's going to take that kid 1 to 2 to 3 years to develop a serve that they can actually develop to where they can hit slice whenever they want, they can hit flat whenever they want, they can hit a kick serve whenever they want. But are you willing right now after watching this video to go, you know what? I'm willing to go deep. Are you willing to spend the next 3 years developing your serve? Okay? I'm not saying you can't go play matches. I believe in going to play a match with a frying pan grip and then going back to the lab and developing your serve. Don't bring that out. You can bring it out occasionally, but don't bring it out until it's ready to sell. I like to compare developing shots to like you got your own business. And when you really feel confident to bring it out and sell it at the market, to put it in Walmart or Target and let all these people buy it and try it and use it and abuse it, but you know the product's so good that it's going to stand up. That's what your game needs to develop into. Now, I'm not saying you can't go out there and use it from time to time, like you can test the market and see if it's ready. But don't be frustrated if it's not ready. I mean, you've got to be willing to spend more than a month or two. You're not going to watch a video, even if the video is fantastic, and master it after watching a great tip. You might have a good day or two and think you got it. But this is stuff to where you've got to think more like a junior. If you want to become a 5-0 player, you've got to get your mind more like a junior player and development, and realize that it's going to take, a lot of these skills are going to take 3 to 5 years to develop. And if you have that mindset and you keep working at it consistently, like a junior is going to be working on their game and doing those drills and those exercises, then you're going to be able to get to that 5-0 level. Yes, even if you start at 40, even if you start at 50, okay, you can still become a 5-0 player. I really truly believe that you can, but you've got to completely switch your mind around and do that. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I invite you to go on a development program with me. I have something I call Next Level University. I have a free 8-part training series that you can dive into right now, to where you can dive into it, you can get free training to see what it's all about, and then if you want, you can get all the courses I've ever made, so you can really dive deep into every single thing as far as kick serves, slice serves, topspin, ATP forehands, advanced backhand, and you can actually be sending me videos of yourself month after month. 4 videos a month you can send me, and I can work on developing your game, okay? A lot of coaches at your club are not going to be willing to do this with you because it's the program. It's a program. You have a junior development program, and then you have adult clinics. You have adult socials. Think about it. You're not, if you came to your pro right now, there's a good chance if you say, hey, I want to become a 5-0, they would laugh at you. And they'd say, that's not for you. That's over. I don't believe that. The more I teach adults and kids, I think, especially the ones online, the adults want it more than the kids. In most cases, you're paying your own money. You're more in control of what you're doing. It's your desire, not your parents' desire, right? It's not your parents' money, it's your money. So if you want to develop and go to that next level, what I want you to do is invite you. So I want you to click the link. I'll play a little preview on what it is, and then dive into that, and I'll see you on the next video. Hey, it's Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. Are you stuck at that 3-5 level and it's starting to drive you crazy? At first it was okay, but then you're like, year after year, I'm in the same darn league and I want to go up to the next level. I've seen my buddies do it and I want to do it too. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you get there. I'm going to give you 5 golden tips, things that you need to improve if you really want to get to that next level. If you want to go from a 3-5 to a 4-0, because I find that that is a level that a lot of people get stuck at. Once you can get up from that 3-5 to a 4-0, you know what? I think you're starting to develop some real skills where you can even go up to a 4-5. So if you're ready, let's get started.